Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 virtual Mel Woodward Cup. My name is Adam Keating, and I'll be your host this afternoon. Before we get started with the event, I would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we would typically gather in person, but today will represent virtually, as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk, and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. I would also like to recognize the Inuit of Nunatsiavut and Nunavut, and the Innu of Nitassinan, and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador. We strive for respectful relationships with all the people of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. Memorial University is committed to providing a safe and respectful environment for all members of its community. As President Vian Timmons said recently in a statement regarding the Black Lives Matter movement, Black and Indigenous people are valued members of the Memorial community, and there is no place for racism or intolerance in this community. We must support the Black and Indigenous communities by educating ourselves, calling out racism and inequality when we see it, and pushing for systemic change. I want to give a special acknowledgement before we start today to the Black Lives Matter NL team for hosting such a powerful and peaceful rally last weekend, which really highlighted the beauty and strength in having a diverse yet united community. We are not immune to racism here in Newfoundland and Labrador. So it is our responsibility as a group of entrepreneurs, business people, educators, and students to unite and make a change together. Now, let's kick off the 4th annual Mel Woodward Cup and see what the next generation of entrepreneurs have been working on. As the competition unfolds today, I encourage each of you to use social media channels to share updates using the hashtag MWC2020. Before we get started, I'd like to recognize a few special groups. To the students joining us today, we are super excited to have you here. On the right side of your screen, drop us a message, tell us what you're studying, and say hi. And thank you so much for joining us today. I'd also like to extend a very warm welcome to the family of the late Dr. Mel Woodward. We are especially glad to have you here, and we're looking forward to hearing remarks from Peter Woodward later on. We're also pleased to have a number of supporters joining us today who this event would not be possible without, including funding, in-kind donations, leadership, and guidance groups for the Mel Woodward Cup and the Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship. And finally, I'd like to recognize a few special folks who have been key supporters of this event over the years. Dr. Vian Timmons, President and Vice Chancellor of Memorial University. Dr. Gary Kachinowski, Past President and Vice Chancellor, Memorial University. The Honorable Seamus O'Regan, Minister of Natural Resources. The Honorable Christopher Mitchellmore, Minister of Advanced Education, Skills, and Labor. Dr. Isabelle Dostelaire, the Dean of the Faculty of Business Administration. Dr. Greg Naderer, Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Science. Representatives from the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency. And last, MC's Advisory Board and funders. Thank you all so much for joining us today and helping us make this event possible. For those of you who I haven't met and haven't met here virtually today, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a 2017 graduate from Memorial's engineering program, and I'm currently one of the co-founders and the CEO of CoLab, based here in St. John's. And 3 years ago, to basically this day, I was standing in the same position as the 5 teams competing. And we were there, and this is the first time we'd ever spoke about CoLab publicly. It was actually at the first ever Mel Woodward Cup. We started CoLab after we witnessed firsthand how broken, manual, and error-prone the engineering process was in the manufacturing industry, and we were set out to change that. In 2017, we were extremely lucky to be one of the first winners of this competition, and at the time, the prize money was $10,000. And it's an understatement to say how big of an impact that's had for us, because that first $10,000 actually helped us hire our first 2 employees and launch our first product. And I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be here today had we not stepped on that stage at the Faculty of Business Administration in 2017. So I'm extremely excited to be here today to see what the new companies have in store and see all the new people in the community joining us for this event. But before we hear from them, let's talk about why we're here today and who made this possible. Dr. Mel Woodward was one of the province's most successful entrepreneurs, building companies that were major players in oil and gas, aircraft refueling, and automotive and marine transportation. He dreamed big, and part of his legacy, Dr. Woodward's family wanted to inspire others to follow their dreams through entrepreneurship. In 2016, the Woodwards approached the Faculty of Business Administration to see how they could help motivate young people to engage in entrepreneurship. At the same time, Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship was trying to find ways to encourage people to think like entrepreneurs and to help them source that all important startup funding to get started. The business faculty brought the Woodwards and MC together, and it was the perfect meeting of the minds. Bright, determined students here at MUN, and generous donors who are ready and eager to invest. And so, in a very short period of time, which I actually remember during my last semester, the Mel Woodward Cup was born. This competition is also heavily supported by ACOA, so a huge thanks to the Woodward family for your generosity, and ACOA for seeing the value and supporting entrepreneurs throughout our community. For the first time ever, we're going to be doing this event today virtually due to restrictions from COVID-19. However, we want to ensure that all the student entrepreneurs still have an opportunity to network and get to meet the people joining the event today. So there'll be a virtual networking session towards the end. A few other changes to note. Today there'll be 5 finalists. Traditionally there have been 8, but the prize are actually going to change. So instead of having 3 awards of $10,000, the top prize today will actually be $25,000, and the second place team will take home $15,000. Pretty life-changing prizes. I can only imagine 2.5x tons of money when we started a couple of years ago. But that's not where this stops. 7 other local organizations have generously provided an amazing package of in-kind prizes, and I'll run through them. The first is a 1-minute branding video from Altitude Media, up to 5 hours of tax services from KPMG, a free professional development seminar from the Gardner Center, a custom brand kit from Perfect Day, free annual memberships to Natty for the winning teams with technology-based ideas, and an opportunity to actually speak at one of their events, free registration for the Evolution program at Genesis, and access to his MARS, Marketing Intelligence Reporting, and finally, a free incorporation package from McKinnis Cooper. Pretty amazing starting point, and things I don't even know we thought about in the first 6 to 12 months of CoLab, but it'll give you a great way to get started for the companies that win today. Huge thank you to those in-kind sponsors for supporting our teams. This year we had 26 teams apply for the Mel Woodward Cup, and a panel of 5 judges reviewed all of the applications and narrowed it down to 9 semifinalists, who then gave in-person pitches for the judges. From there, 5 finalists, which you'll hear from later on today, were selected. Special thank you to Gary Din, Gina Pecor, Mandy Woodland, Jeremy Andrews, and Dr. Tom Cooper for your time, hard work, and effort in selecting these finalists, which we'll hear from shortly. And also a big thank you to everyone who applied. We know how busy you are, and it was amazing to see the opportunities and ideas you put forth. Today we're going to hear from each team via a pre-recorded video, which has the judges I've already seen, and then you'll have 5 minutes of live Q&A from the judges for each team. Once we've heard from all 5 finalists, the judges will deliberate privately, and then they'll have 30 minutes to make their decision. During that break, we invite all of you to check out our virtual expo, where you'll see some of the work the entrepreneurs have been putting forth, or also jump in the virtual networking area to help connect with other people in the video chat. The team will commence at the main stage, where the winners will be announced at 4:55 p.m. So it's really important that you're back here for 4:55. This competition is intended to provide the winners with the investment that they need to develop successful startups and take that first step as their company. But as these students work to grow their ventures, they're supported by many of the people watching today. And the Mel Woodward Cup is fostering the capacity for students to create their own career path right here in Newfoundland and Labrador to become the future of our businesses and community leaders. So I thank everybody for taking the time out of your day, joining us for this virtual event, and supporting entrepreneurship in Newfoundland and Labrador. Now that we've set the stage, it's time to get started with the program. First, I'd like to acknowledge the amazing support that we've had through Memorial University, the federal government through ACOA, and the provincial government through the Departments of Tourism, Culture, Industry and Innovation, and Advanced Education, Skills, and Labor. I'm pleased to now share with you a video message from Dr. Vian Timmons, President and Vice Chancellor of Memorial, the Honorable Seamus O'Regan, Minister of Natural Resources, and the Honorable Christopher Mitchellmore, Minister of Advanced Education, Skills, and Labor.
On behalf of Memorial University, I am so pleased to welcome participants and viewers to the finals of the 2020 Mel Woodward Cup. I would have been thrilled to attend my first Mel Woodward Cup in person, but I'm excited to participate virtually and to learn about the exciting and innovative businesses that our bright and forward-thinking students are developing. I would like to also thank the Woodward family for their generous donation that helped to launch this competition and for their ongoing support for student entrepreneurs at Memorial University. You know, it is so exciting to hear about how the competition has grown since its inception and to learn about the incredible impact it has had on the entrepreneurial journey of previous winners. This is a critical time, not only in our province, but around the world. As we seek to rebuild after this pandemic, we need people who can find solutions, who can think creatively, and who are motivated to make a difference in the world. To the students who are pitching your ideas today, you are our future leaders. Good luck to all of this year's finalists, and I look forward to seeing you all soon, hopefully in person.
Hey everyone, welcome to the 2020 Mel Woodward Cup. This means a lot to me. Mel and Sybil Woodward were our next door neighbors in Goose Bay, and I worked my way through my undergrad as a baggage handler for Woodward Aviation at Goose Bay International Airport. Mel, Mr. Woodward, he taught me a lot by his example. The importance of ambition, whether you're from Bangkok or Boat Harbor. The power of tenacity. You know, how as an entrepreneur, you just need to push all the time. I wish he was here. The fact that we're doing this year's competition digitally instead of gathering in person is a mark, I think, of the challenge and the opportunity not only of this year's competition, but of this moment in time. To all of you, let the challenge and the opportunity of this moment guide your ideas and drive you to give this your best. We're working to bring our economy out of the deep freeze, and we look to entrepreneurs to help us do that. We need you. We need your drive to innovate, to create new opportunities. And all of this while carefully managing public health in an ongoing pandemic. This is a massive challenge. Mel would have loved it. Best of luck to all of you.
Mel Woodward was born in a tiny fishing village on the Great Northern Peninsula. He had moved to Labrador, where he saw an opportunity to start his very own business. He was supported by his wife Sybil, and they were able to purchase their very first oil truck. Over the decades, this spanned the Woodward Group of companies, employing hundreds of people and generating hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. As Minister of Advanced Education, Skills and Labor, I encourage you to put your skills to the test at the Mel Woodward Cup. Pursue your dreams, and you too could be the very next big success story in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Thank you, Dr. Timmons, Minister Reagan, and Minister Mitchellmore for sharing your support today. Now, Peter Woodward has also kindly prepared a video message on behalf of the Woodward family. Peter is the president of the Woodward Group of Companies, and we'll hear from him next.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, panelists, judges, faculty, and of course, Florian. It's welcome you all to the Mel Woodward Cup. As many of you are aware, the Mel Woodward Cup was, the prizes were funded by my family in memory of my dad. I'd like to talk a little bit about my dad this evening and, send you a message that he would probably have liked to have sent if he was still here with us today. First of all, I'd like to talk a little bit about him. He was born in 1933 in a little town of 100 people in a fishing town called North Boat Harbor on the Northern Peninsula. And he left there in 1949 for a teaching job in the Straits of Belle Isle at Savage Cove. And from there on, over the next 50 or 60 years, he kept moving and eventually went to Labrador and into the Arctic. And before he passed away, he had amassed a business that was doing $750 million in sales and employing 800 people, mostly Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. I guess the message that I'd like to send to you today is that my dad left Boat Harbor before there were any roads in a pair of rubber boots that he walked across streams and spent 3 days on the road before he finally got to his first job. And 60 years later, he returned to North Boat Harbor many times in his own helicopter and his own jet. And he was very proud of his accomplishments. He had a tremendous ego, and that wasn't necessarily a bad thing because it gave him a lot of determination and he wanted to succeed. I guess if he was here today, he'd be saying, if you have dreams and ideas, then you should run with them. It's far better to work for yourself and have the benefit of all those dreams than it is to work for somebody else. So if you have dreams and you have ideas, run with them. It's great that you're here, and hopefully you'll add to the prosperity of our province as we move out of these difficult COVID times.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you to the entire Woodward family for your contributions to continuously growing entrepreneurship in Newfoundland and Labrador. Now it's time for us to meet the judges. And first up, we're going to hear from Josh Green, founder of MISA, and hear about some of the cool things that they've been doing here in the province and what he's most excited about. Josh, I'll turn it over to you.
Hi, thanks, Adam. Really excited to be here today, everyone. This is like, I don't know, it feels like one of the most exciting days of the entire year for tech and entrepreneurism here in Newfoundland. This is like the fourth year, and it just seems like everyone is like waiting for this one big day a year. At least I know I am, and really excited to be part of it today. As mentioned, I'm Joshua Green, CEO of MISA Smart Thermostats. We build smart thermostats for controlling homeowners' electricity heating systems and cooling systems. And we're a team of about 70 people here in St. John's, Newfoundland, and real big supporters of the entire tech and startup entrepreneur ecosystem here in Newfoundland. For those who do know me, my co-founder actually happens to be my brother, and he's usually not too far away from me. And quite often, whenever Zach and I are together, we're always talking about startups and companies and the challenges that they're facing. It's what we just have this passion for, talking about problems and how teams coming together to solve them. And that's really what I'm the most excited about today. Is I just have this burning passion for seeing people coming up with ideas to solve problems. And after reviewing the five teams that we have here today, it's so rewarding just to see people putting their blood, sweat, and tears and creativity to solving these problems. So excited to be here.
Awesome, Josh. And for those who don't know, when we started CoLab, Josh was one of the first people who helped us get started. And at that time, they were like 10 people in the Genesis Center. This was in 2017. So they're now 70, and you can find their thermostats everywhere. I literally found one in a log cabin in Revelstoke last year when I was skiing. They're all over the place, so kudos, Josh. Next up, we're going to hear from Cathy Bennet, and Cathy has been doing everything for the last 2 years and has had a long history in entrepreneurship. Cathy, tell us about some of the things you're doing, and what are you most excited for today?
Well, I'm really excited to be here to see some incredible companies again this year. The Woodwards have done an amazing thing at supporting this competition because it's birthed some of the most innovative companies that we have in Newfoundland and Labrador right now, including CoLab and MISA, just to name a couple. What's been keeping me busy the last number of years is I'm involved with the Creative Destruction Lab as an associate. I'm also a board member with Propel, which is Atlantic Canada's virtual accelerator. And I'm also one of the founders of the Atlantic Women's Venture Fund, which is an exciting new thing for me to do. But a couple of years ago, was able to be part of a group that came together called Connection NL. And really, we're just a group of community people who have business experience, who have academic experience, who really see the future of our economy in Newfoundland and Labrador growing from innovation, particularly in the tech sector. And it's been really humbling and cool and exciting to stand on the sidelines and offer a little bit of mentorship to some of the companies that have prepared for the competition, but also some of the companies that have grown over the last number of years. And I look forward to doing a lot more of that in the next couple of years as we see more companies growing through not just the Mel Woodward Cup, but certainly Memorial University student population as a whole. So if anybody needs any help with mentorship, we've got a group of volunteers ready to go. And Adam, thanks for all the hard work you're doing to MC today.
Thanks, Cathy. You're doing the hard work. I've got the easy job. Cathy's been a huge part in helping just about every company that exists right now in the startup phase in Newfoundland. So shout out to her and her team. And now we're going to hear from Andrea King. And Andrea, I'm excited to hear. You gave me kind of your background yesterday. You've been doing a lot of cool stuff over the last few years. Tell us a little bit about that and what are you looking forward to today?
Great, thanks, Adam. It's a real pleasure to be here. I'm really excited to witness all of these entrepreneurs in action. My name is Andrea King, and I work with the customer success and operations teams at Verafin. And Verafin is no stranger to the entrepreneurship scene in Newfoundland. We help financial institutions fight crime, and it's a great, innovative place to work. Before joining Verafin, I ran a media company, and I worked in over 25 countries while working with the World Bank and other international organizations. But the thing that I'm really most proud of is my time as an entrepreneur, because launching a business is thrilling, it's rewarding, it requires relentless optimism and kind of gives people the opportunity to experience every aspect of business. Whether intentional or not, too, I think being an entrepreneur leads to a lot of self-discovery. So the thing I'm probably most excited about is just watching these teams' passion come out, learn about how they're going to build their businesses and execute on these great ideas. So thanks very much for having me here.
And thanks for joining us, Andrea. I think it's a pretty cool role now too, going from entrepreneur into leading success with Verafin and doing so much there. For those who aren't aware, Verafin actually raised the largest financing round in Canada history with over $500 million this summer, this past year, and one of the biggest growing companies really in the world, right here in St. John's. So excited to hear more. And our fourth and final judge today is Paul Pinn. And Paul, you've been doing a lot of really cool stuff across a number of different sectors in the clean tech space. Tell everyone about that and what are you interested in learning today?
Yeah, thanks. So first, I want to say thanks for inviting me to this. This is my first time being involved in the Mel Woodward Cup, and it's very impressive. I love what's being done here, and I'm looking forward to meeting the finalists. So my name is Paul Pinn. I did the engineering program at MUN a long time ago, 95. I've started a bunch of companies over the years, all in the renewable energy space. The one that I'm spending most of my time at right now is a company called One Wind Services. We do construction and operation and maintenance support on wind, solar, storage, and electric vehicle projects. Started with one person, me, working out of the basement, and we're now up to about 250. And we're doing projects all over North America. I also started a small development company a few years ago, and we went on to install about $70 million worth of wind projects that are jointly owned by 6 communities around Nova Scotia. So I'm very excited to mainly to meet some of the personalities behind these awesome ideas. There's 5 really high quality ideas here, and what I've learned over the years is that personality, perseverance, and energy can get you through a lot of the ups and downs that are going to be inevitable. And so I'm really looking forward to meeting some of those personalities. I wish I could do it in person.
Awesome, us too, Paul, but soon enough. And I think everyone can kind of get a feel now that we've got a bit of an all-star lineup here today. So we really appreciate you taking the time to be with us. We'd also like to mention Sally Dobb. She was scheduled to be our 5th judge today, but unfortunately could not make it. We'd like to spend a special thank you to her for her help throughout this competition. A note to the teams and judges. During this Q&A session, it will start immediately after the video finishes. 4 minutes in, when there's 1 minute left, I'm going to hold up a sign. It's going to look just like this, and it's going to let you know in a very pleasant way that you have 1 minute left, and then we're going to move on to the next team. So with all that said, and all this preamble, we're now ready to hear from the 5 teams. First up is going to be Odyssey. We're going to watch their video, and immediately following the video, we're going to go right into the questions. Let's do it.
What would you do if I told you that in just 15 minutes you could lose your hearing? Well, that's the reality for motorcyclists. In just 15 minutes at highway speeds, we can suffer irreversible hearing damage or loss. So we wanted to create a solution. We want to protect your hearing using active noise cancelling technologies, while allowing you to stay connected to your phone using Bluetooth connectivity. Most importantly, we want you to hear your surroundings such as sirens and horns, so you have environmental awareness. So our system cancels the outside noise, reducing the rider's heard noise level to a safe level. Utilizing high quality speakers, we can offer superb audio quality, and our system was designed with power efficiency in mind, allowing for 12 hours of continuous use before charging. The system is based off the ARM Cortex processor family, which is commonly found in smartphones and smart devices, and with our system, helmet manufacturers can add it to any of their existing helmets, such as this one. So we allow you to hear sudden noises in the environment while canceling the harmful noises, and we want to make sure that it works in the most dangerous environment for hearing loss: highway speed. It was of utmost importance to ensure it was affordable for companies to use, and we want to protect as many people as possible with the system. So currently, Sena, a major holder in the electronics industry for motorcycles, has an intelligent system, but it's only limited to them. And we wanted to make sure this technology can protect as many people as possible. So we currently have beta testers who sign up to test our product, and we've been conducting both industry and consumer interviews. We've also contacted existing companies, and once we finish our beta testing, we'll be sending them our minimal viable product to interested helmet manufacturers. Currently, they are waiting for us to complete our beta testing so they can complete their own independent tests to determine if the product suits them. Based upon our consumer interviews, we've determined that 62% of interviewed motorcyclists will be interested in our product, assuming it does not increase the cost of the helmet greater than $200 from the original price. So we plan to form partnerships with existing companies who already have a hold in the motorcycle helmet industry, and this way we can utilize their market presence for an easier path to market. We also plan to expand our digital marketing using social influencers to showcase our technologies to their audiences, while expanding our sales teams to better reach our customers. So worldwide, there's over 200 million motorcyclists, and the helmet market is valued over $4 billion. This number is expected to grow to $5 billion by 2025 because people are becoming a lot more safety conscious. So we believe we can hit 3% of this market, targeting people between the ages of 25 and 65 who have an interest in motorcycle Bluetooth, hearing protection, or are currently using a Sena or Cardo product. So we sell technical data packages for 3 trim levels, which all manufacturers can use to create and install the system in any of their helmets. We also receive 7.5% royalties on helmets sold for our proprietary software, which we keep updated for each system. So with a 3% market share, this means we have a possible market of around $120 million, and receiving an average royalty of $15 per helmet, that means we can project a revenue of $9 million. So we build hardware and software, so we have double market penetration. And based on customer interviews, we wanted to ensure that our product was easy to use, had smartphone connectivity, which is a major selling point, and as well had user profiles, so users can set configurations to better suit their needs. So we sell commercially off-the-shelf packages, which allow companies an easy path to market, and we provide them with all the information they need to build and install our systems into any of their helmets. So we're a team of 4 friends. We've known each other since high school, and between us we have over 6 years of work experience within major hardware companies, project management within the oil sector, sales experience, and together we led an international winning robotics team 3 years in a row. Being friends, we've known each other's strengths and weaknesses, which allow us to work very well together, and we believe we have the perfect team to complete and surpass our goals. Lastly, we've been lucky to have 2 mentors who have years of experience in patenting, intellectual property protection, and business. And we've been accepted into the Propel E-Accelerator program, specializing in tech startups, where we're completing their Business Foundations program. So we're looking for 12 months financing. With $25,000, we would leverage this money towards the National Resource Council's IRAP Innovative Assistance Program. So with this money, we'll finalize our product development and testing. So we plan to do a comparison of the effects of noise canceling through the complete simulated user range of 0 to 160 kilometers an hour. So we will compare an existing helmet, then install the Odyssey helmet technology inside and determine the noise reduction. We'll also expand our sales and marketing, patent our product, and make a certifiable product, meaning we'll get certifications such as CSA, CE, and Underwriters Labs. So, we're Odyssey. We aim to keep you protected while you do what you enjoy. Thank you.
Okay, great. So I'm assuming somebody can hear me right now. I'm good?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, great pitch, everyone. two questions that I had. The very first one was working with OEMs, the actual builders of these helmets, is in my firsthand experience is quite difficult working with these large companies.
Mhm.
And I was wondering if you've had any experience there, and if you've spoken to many of these OEMs yet, and if you have spoken with them, have they articulated any challenges that they saw, or was there anything that they were looking for? Yeah, so I was wondering if you had spoken to any OEMs that you would partner with yet.
Yeah, so far we've gotten 3 explicit yes, as soon as you're done your minimum viable product, send the product to us. So we've actually got one in the major sport market, one in the off-road market, and one in the adventure touring market. And to answer your question on have any of them had any issues, they've sort of stated that they have extensive testing processes that they have to go through for innovation. So they want to get our product tested in their helmets before they actually commit to anything. So that's going to be the big thing. But based upon our business plan, we're giving them all the information they would need to build it anywhere they want, so they can use their pre-existing production tools to do it that way.
Okay, great. And then you kind of touched on it. I was wondering, was there any kind of other adjacent markets where the kind of the core tech could be used outside of kind of the helmet activity? I could probably think of a couple. I was wondering if you guys had thought about that.
Yeah. So right now we're really targeting motorcycles because that's sort of our beachhead. But we're planning to expand into more of like personal protective equipment. That's the next logical step for us. So after we partner with people in the motorcycle helmet industry, that's where we plan to go next, and then eventually we hope to expand into consumer electronics or more avenues that way. But I think PPE is definitely the next logical step for us.
Okay, great. Thank you.
It's Cathy. I've got a couple questions real quick. So I see 4 members of your team here. Just wondering if you're the winner today, what are you going to do with the 25,000, and how are you going to divide up the tasks amongst each of you? What are talents and strengths that you guys put on the table that are going to take advantage of that $25,000 and turn your company into something like CoLab and Misa?
Yeah. So we have such a big team because I actually started out by myself in 2018. And then because I have experience in hardware and software, that was really where I strived. But I needed to fill in the gaps around me with people that I could trust and people that I knew were really good in different aspects. So I brought in Clark because he has a lot of experience testing in hardware. And Joel, he's been project managing and working at different companies doing project management tasks. And Keely has a lot of sales experience. So we really have it split up into 4 sections. For where we hope to spend the money if we win. So we're going to finish our product development. So that's going to be our R&D testing, getting our testing materials we need. We're also going to expand our sales and marketing because we're really striving to get people interested in our product before we finish, because we want to have it so when we finish that people actually want to get it. We're so hoping to make a certifiable product, so which means that when people buy our system and buy our complete package, it's already certified in different places, so they don't have to go out and pay extra money. So we're going to get it certified here in North America as well as in Europe and different places like that. And lastly, we really want to make it patentable. So we're going to patent our unique aspect of our hardware, and we're planning on using the trade secret patent process for our software.
Awesome.
Building on that, this is Andrea. I'd like to hear a little bit more about your sales and marketing plan. I know you mentioned a couple of industry events, but can you talk about how you're going to make these connections with these different companies?
Yeah, so right now we're sort of in the customer verification, customer journey map phase where we're talking to different companies and we're basically getting references from different companies to talk to other people. So we hope to attend sales presentations. We really want to sort of get out there, and we hope to use industry people to talk to people, and we hope to use influencers to sort of get it out to their audiences so people become interested in our product.
I've got a quick one.
Yeah.
First of all, great product and great work so far, guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Just a quick one. You mentioned sort of 2 streams of revenue, licensing, I think, and royalties.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about each one of those and sort of the relative importance of each?
Yeah, so for our technical data packages, that includes everything a manufacturer will need for hardware. So that's going to be the schematic, the PCB design, the components, the bill of materials, everything you need to send to a manufacturing house for them to build. And then for our software, we're going to license our software. So we actually have planned for 3 tiers of product. And then we're going to update software for each of the systems and That way companies don't have to worry about the software aspect, because motorcycle companies are more physical, they're not software. So we're going to keep the software updated and do bug fixes and keep making our algorithm better and better and better. And then that way we can roll out using our infrastructure to roll out to customers. So we're planning on building kind of like an application for phones that you can update with using Bluetooth, the different devices.
Cool, awesome. Odyssey, thank you so much for getting this started on the right foot. And judges, great questions. You can now return to your breakout room, and we're going to get ready for the second team, Prosper, who we're going to hear first their pitch, and then the same format, 5 minutes of questions following directly afterwards.
Of all the things affecting your health that you can control, diet is the most important. But getting the right amount of every nutrient isn't easy. Choosing the foods that make up the perfect diet is really hard. And even when you put in a lot of effort, maybe you don't have enough fiber, so you add some oats to fix that. But now you have too many calories. You could swap this pork out for some chicken, but what if you don't like chicken? And how are you going to fit in your favorite cookies? Prosper makes nutrition simple. We create your perfect diet using foods you like, and all you have to do is follow along. One click gets you a meal plan for the whole week that satisfies your daily values, and a grocery list that you can take to the store with you or buy online with just a few clicks. And we know that in real life, not everything goes according to plan, and that's why we help you fit in treats. Currently, our beachhead market is serious gym goers, who often aim to eat a specific amount of protein, fats, and carbs to get the most out of their training. As a member of this group, I noticed that there weren't any adequate solutions on the market. Calorie counters can't tell you what to eat, and meal planners don't consider nutritional content. That's why we created Prosper. Right now, the alternative for these people is to pay a coach upwards of $100 a month to make their meal plans for them. A Prosper subscription is just $15 a month, and we've already had success selling to this market. They've responded well to our marketing, and our early prototype made nearly $1,000. We're currently on the App Store and the Google Play Store, and have over 800 registered users. One of those users, who had previously struggled to lose weight, lost 50 pounds, and said that our approach was the reason for his success. Because our approach is so adaptable, it applies to many people, from competitive athletes to those with health conditions. This gives us room to grow. The global healthy eating, weight loss, and nutrition market is worth over $700 billion. Personalized nutrition is worth $8.2 billion, and our target market of personalized nutrition apps that are used for self-monitoring is worth just over $95 million, and growing at over 22%. Prosper fits the trends in these markets. The way that people plan and prepare their meals is changing. From the increasing adoption of meal kit services to the recent rise of online grocery, consumers are looking for more convenience in this area. Prosper provides the convenience that people are looking for. Jonathan and I started Prosper as a side project a few years ago. We're both engineers and we're skilled in software development. Together, we built the version of the app that's available today. We are technical founders, but the programming and mentors at MCE and Genesis have helped us to develop the business skills necessary to make Prosper a success. We also hired our first student, Caitlin, to help us on the business side with marketing and analytics. And we work closely with our mentor, John Williams, to develop business strategy. John brings industry-relevant experience to the team as the founder of a fast-growing nutrition supplement company. Right now, our goal is to get to Prosper version 2. Version 2 will have all the main features our customers have asked for and an improved user experience. This version of Prosper will be ready to scale. To get there, we'll need to test our product in the market, measure our metrics, make appropriate changes, and repeat the process until we hit our targets. The $25,000 will help us grow our team in terms of both product development and marketing. It will also increase our advertising budget enough to make this plan possible. Thanks for watching, everyone. Download Prosper by scanning one of the QR codes on screen and start personalizing your nutrition today.
Okay, great guys. That was awesome. First thing I just want to say, amazing job on traction. It's obvious that you guys have traction for this, and I know in our very first days when we were talking to some our very first investors, Killick here in Newfoundland and Polaris Ventures, it was traction that got them excited. So congratulations on the traction. I saw your app in the App Store, and you have a higher rating and more reviews than the Misa app does. So kudos to that. Well done. That's amazing. Two quick questions. Two questions. One is quick. Wondering about kind of special diets. I wanted to use the app, but I'm vegan, so that was hard for me. But the bigger question that I wanted to ask about was, how would you guys describe your moat or like your competitive advantage? Thanks.
Thanks for the kind words, Josh. Nice to hear that.
So in terms of veganism and that type of stuff, the special diets, we've heard that before from our customers, and we do actually have the tech available right now to do it. We just haven't implemented it in the app yet in any way that's really easy for the user. So we're still working towards that. And in terms of competitive advantage, our app is focused on serving a traditionally underserved market who've been asking for a solution to this problem for a long time. That and the fact that I am well connected within that market, and I am a member of it myself. It's being built by the people that it's built for.
Great, thank you.
So I'll ask the guys a question. I thought the app looked fantastic on the phone, and I was excited to see you guys talking about the kind of a second version of the app. I'm curious to know, though, when you think about where you want to be in 5 years and what the money that you might win today might get you to, what's the destination? Like, what do you think the company can accomplish in the next 2 to 5 years? And what are you guys going to be doing as part of that journey?
Yeah. So the first thing we're focused on is solving it for our beachhead market of the serious gym goers, and we'd like to get it to be successful in that area. Hopefully, get into say the top 100 in the consistently in the top 100 listing in the App Store. We got to 135 when we first launched, and then after that, we'd like to expand out into other markets. So that could be say stuff like diabetes and other health markets, or also just sort of more general meal planning type deal.
So have you given any thought to health tech, like to a full-on pivot or an expansion into not just diabetes, but other care, dietary care needs?
We haven't looked a whole lot at health tech. We have thought about things like stuff like smart fridges and watches. Those are the areas that we've looked at more closely.
One of the biggest reasons that we kind of delayed the health tech stuff was the barrier to entry, right? It's a little bit more difficult for us to actually advertise anything without medical staff. So our excited target market is who we wanted to serve first.
Awesome. Thanks. Great job.
Hey guys, this is Andrea. This is a huge space and there's a lot of competition. So I'd like to hear about how much you've actually got allocated for marketing in the first few years and how you feel you can compete in that space, especially in the US market.
Of course, nutrition is a massive market, especially you see our total available market as 700 billion. Of course, there's going to be a lot of players in that market. But if you segment it down to where we're talking about with specific nutritional goals and that type of planning, there's not really a whole lot of people in that space right now. And we're really hoping to hit it home there. As for marketing in the next little bit, we don't have a concrete budget set out for our marketing. But what we do want to do is do iterative testing where we use our analytics within the app to learn things that are going right and wrong with our customers so that we can make changes and make our advertising funds last as long as possible.
Thanks.
Just a quick one. First of all, great looking app and great work in getting all those positive reviews. You never know what's going to happen when you put it out there. So you've got a lot of high ratings, so that's something to be proud of. But just a simple question. Have you thought about families? So if you've got a family of 3 or 4 or 5, whatever, would they each have an account, or have you thought about doing something sort of like a family account that you could collaborate? Because I would envision, you get a grocery list there and you're going to want to buy groceries for the whole family, not just individually.
Yeah, so that's something that we've certainly thought about. At the moment, we're mainly focused on people doing it individually because we've noticed that 55% of our user base is in the 18 to 24 age range. So most of them generally don't have families. But yeah, we have considered like, okay, how can you just say expand out the grocery list to be able to buy enough for say 4 people or something like that.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
I do have another question.
We have a quick one.
Yes. So so I was really impressed with your Amazon, like the ability to link to getting your groceries right away. Are you going to link to others like Instacart and grocery deliveries? Is that in your plan?
Yeah, so that's actually really important to us is this grocery. It's actually a revenue stream for us because when somebody checks out, we get about a 3% royalty on Amazon Fresh. Now, of course, they're limited in terms of geography, so we do hope to expand out into others, even local small time things like the Dominion PC Express. If there's anything that could be worked out there in terms of an equivalent revenue stream, that'd be really important for us as a freemium app to get a lot of revenue out of our free users to make it worth having a lot of them around.
Just to add one thing to that, Walmart are also in beta for their online grocery thing now, but I'm sure the COVID thing has sped up their progress there.
Yeah, and I'll wrap up by saying I think this would have been super helpful during the height of COVID-19 being quarantined home. So thank you, judges, for the questions, and guys, thank you for the answers. You can return back to your breakout room, and thanks again to the Prosper team. Our third team up is Qt Lab. So first we're going to hear their video, and then we're going to go into the questions again and see what we get from the judges.
Hi, I'm Navid from Team Qt Lab. Imagine yourself going out shopping for a personal care product. You pick a product, and there are some questions you may ask. Is it safe? Will it work and deliver what's offering? What if condition changes? Is it still safe? Will it still work? To answer each and all of these questions, you need to be a chemist. And guess what? Not everyone is a chemist. So obviously there is a huge gap between knowledge and average users. Qt Lab fills this gap by very deep, personalized, and unbiased analysis of ingredients through a user-friendly mobile application, or as we call it, with a chemist in your pocket. So here's how it works. When you're setting up your Qt Lab profile, we will ask you from very basic questions such as age, gender, skin and hair type to very detailed hair and skin concerns such as sensitivity to specific ingredient, acne, rosacea, eczema, and you can easily update your profile anytime in the future if something changes. So when you're shopping a personal care product, all you need to do is scanning the barcode, and Qt Lab will run all the analysis to tell you in a simple word that if this specific product is good, okay, or bad for your hair and skin needs and concerns. You can definitely look deeper and find more information about the ingredients if you want so. Who else is doing this? Well, there have been some tries, but none of them are personalized. And more importantly, they're all biased, meaning they're trying to sell deal brands to the users. Their main revenue comes from the users. That's where Qt Lab is different. Cosmetics and beauty industry is a hundreds of billions of dollars market. They spend billions of dollars annually on R&D and marketing agencies to have a guess of information that we are collecting directly from their customers. Very clean and segmented. We are after $2 billion within the next 5-year plan. To reach our milestone, Mel Woodward Prize can make a huge impact. It can cover the ministerial portion of our already accepted MyTax proposal, so we can grow our team, complete our MVP, and release it to the market as soon as possible. My name is Navid, technical co-founder at Qt Lab.
Hi, I'm Selena, PhD of Chemistry, postdoctoral fellow in entrepreneurship at Memorial University. I work full-time at Qt Lab under supervision of Dr. Carlos Bazan. He's an amazing advisor in marketing and business development. I'm also an influencer on Instagram with 27,000 followers where I'm blogging, creating cosmetic formulation related topics. I found that people are very interested in this topic and our page is growing very fast.
We have a detailed revenue model for users and businesses. Also, meticulously planned 2-phase product roadmap for the next 5 years. We are Qt Lab, the winner of Pitch and Pick competition at Genesis and Volta cohort competition among 16 startups in Atlantic.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. That was an excellent video. I guess I love this space because I just think that it's just data playing into helping our lives from a medical point of view is just. I think we're just seeing the beginning of this, and this is so exciting. So I love the space that you're in. I guess the one question that I had, so the network and the data and getting scale, if you can achieve that from everything that I talked to, kind of other startups and stuff, once you're there, it's very defensible and you're in a really great spot. But the challenge is getting there. To get to the scale takes a lot of effort or a lot of creativity. Once you're there, you're in a great spot. I guess what are your big initiatives and pushes to really break through and be able to get to that scale, which it seems to be just super important for this business model to make sense? Is you need to get to scale, and how do you push through to get scale?
So QTlab is a two-sided platform. One side is user, the other side is manufacturer. In the earliest stage, we will have freemium accounts, free accounts and premium accounts for those who pay for personalized consultation and deeper information about ingredients. Every single interaction between user and mobile application can generate valuable data for our data bank. So we collect customer behavior data until we have enriched data bank. In the second phase, I'd say the second 2 years, when we have a rich data bank, we can propose business accounts to manufacture, and that's where our main revenue is come from. The way we charge businesses for customized reports, and it can cost from thousands of dollars to tens of thousands of dollars.
I guess what I was really interested in is the first phase again. So getting the customers there. I guess it's about marketing and how much kind of experience do you guys have with marketing, or are you trying to look for some people to help you with that? Because that early stage of getting that traction and getting out there will be really important.
Yeah, it's been more than a year and actually 2 years that I'm blogging on social media about cosmetics formulation. That's my expertise. And me and Navid could gain 26,000 followers organically without any promotion, which shows how people are interested in this area. People want to know about product, about ingredients, but they don't have enough resources to easily understand the chemistry behind the cosmetics formulation.
Yeah, I love that. We've been seeing that at MISA. There's the social influence is so big, and that was great to see the traction that you have there. So well done. Thank you.
So you guys did a great job in the video. I thought it was amazing and really well done. When you think about what the next 12 to 24 months might unfold with the money that you might win, what's the most pressing thing you've got to get done? What's the most urgent thing? And which one of you is going to carry what ball?
So I'm going to talk on my side. I'm a chemist, so I'm going to work on a library of ingredients. And Navid is talking, so he's going to talk on.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to finish your part first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm a technical co-founder here. Well, our most challenging part will be our app is ready for beta testing now. It's in the final stage of beta testing, and the API integration to connect the data bank to the app is under development. Well, adding a team member in this stage would be very beneficial. So in 12 months, our main focus will be on finishing the beta testing and actually enriching our proprietary barcode scanner. We do have a proprietary barcode scanner that can extract the ingredient from the product automatically instead of adding each ingredient one by one into the spreadsheet. So from technical side, I will work on these two parts.
Mm-hmm. Great, thanks.
Hi guys, this is Andrea. So my first question is, your competitor, I think it was Cosmetics, has 140,000 products in their that they've reviewed and gotten details on. So I'd like to know how many you have. And then my second question is about legal implications. Because you're dealing with things like allergies, if your app was to make an incorrect recommendation, does that have legal implications, and how would you handle that? Thank you.
We are trying to collect information based on most recent publication on ingredients. So all our data is updated based on recent peer-reviewed publications, peer-reviewed journals. So we are giving information to the customer to easily choose among many products. And yeah, that's all we can do based on most recent publication.
And our main resource is Health Canada. Health Canada has all ingredients we want. We just adjust that ingredient with our machine learning system, and that's it. We do have all we need there, our ingredients to analyze, and we're good to go there.
Paul, we've got time for like a 15-second question to recap if you want to go for one.
Okay, a quick one. You mentioned your competitors, I think 2 important points there. Not personalized and not unbiased. Can you expand on that a little bit, please?
Yeah, when you're using those applications, you quickly notice that they're trying to sell deal brands, like brands that they have, maybe their own brands they're trying to sell. And as a chemical, I found that there are many misinformation in their application. So, like what I said, we are going to use most recent publication based on scientific report, not just peer-reviewed journals.
And do I have time? From technical point.
Go for it. 10 seconds.
Well, from technical point of view, their data bank is so limited. They don't have all of the ingredients covered, but our data bank is comprehensive with lots of details in it. Thank you.
Cool. Awesome. QLab, thank you very much, and thank you for clarifying. You can now return back to your breakout room, and we'll get ready for our 4th finalist. Next up, we're going to have Nucleic Biologics. We're going to watch their video, and then we're going to come right back here for 5 minutes Q&A.
Hi, I'm Purvi and the co-founder of Nucleic Biologics. The problem we are addressing here is faced by 20 million Canadians every year who are suffering from different digestive disorders. 1 in every 140 Canadian is diagnosed with diseases like Crohn's and colitis, which are severe and chronic inflammations that occurs in the gut. Moreover, all these diseases are costing up to $18 billion to Canadian economy in terms of medical expenses and loss of productivity. However, the scientific evidence strongly suggests that there is a strong link between all these diseases and the gut microbiome. What is gut microbiome and why do we care? The human body consists of trillions of bacterial cells, where most of them are residing in your gut. Together with other microbes like viruses and fungi makes your gut microbiome. What are all these bacteria doing there? They aid in your food digestion, synthesize your vitamins. They even protect you against harmful organisms, influence your mood and energy levels. In order to perform all these incredible things, there should be a healthy balance in your gut bacteria. Any imbalance in gut bacteria caused due to intake of junk food or drugs can lead to a state called dysbiosis, which further leads to other medical complications. In simple words, balance in gut bacteria leads to healthy body, or imbalance in gut bacteria leads to unhealthy body. But how do you know the status of your gut? That's where Nucleic Biologics comes into picture, uncovering your gut microbiome. We designed Gut Check Analysis Kit to uncover your gut microbiome. How do we do this? Order the test online, receive the kit at your doorstep, collect your stool sample and send it back to us. We will perform comprehensive stool analysis to do microbial gene profiling and provide you with your gut microbial richness report. This report provides you with detailed information on your gut bacteria, such as percentages of good and bad bacteria present and how does it affect your body. Deep insights about disease risk associated with it. Most importantly, your personalized food recommendations to help you maintain balance in the gut. Follow the recommendations and come back after 3 months to do the test again and check your progress. So far in this journey, after conducting several interviews, we have learned that more than 80% of individuals from different segments are interested in our product. They include patients with digestive disorders, health organizations, and people who believe in preventive health care. Since we started our website, we received several emails from customers inquiring about the availability of the product. We even have individuals signed up on our waitlist. The global market for microbiome-based therapeutics and diagnosis is extremely huge. Considering 5% of total population having digestive disorders in Canada and US alone, and charging $200 per unit for our product will make the addressable market to $820 million. Even if we target 5% of Canadian addressable market, then it will make $200 million. We are planning to launch our first product, Gut Check Analysis Kit, online and provide the customers with different subscription plans like monthly, quarterly, and annually. Once we generate the revenue, we will explore our analysis to different parts like skin, oral, and vaginal microbiome, which is a part of our long-term goal. Our vision is to build a company for next 5 to 10 years to see it as a multinational biotech company developing microbiome-based therapeutics. We are the team of 2 scientists who are passionate about science and entrepreneurship. Using our knowledge, we want to translate the molecular understanding of human microbiome to improve the patient health. We also have a strong advisory board with Dr. Ayush Kumar and Dr. Carlos Bazin, who is a professor at MUN, has a vast experience in establishing several startups. Winning this Mel Woodward Cup will allow us to leverage the prize money towards our R&D for the development of the product. Thank you. We are Nucleic Biologics and we care for your gut.
Okay, great. We'll get started. Just quickly, I love the name Gut Check. Like, that is so cool. Well done there. Yeah, so I was wondering, and so pardon my ignorance here. I'm not in the kind of medical and kind of chemistry space, but thinking about, have you thought through what this would take to scale to thousands and hopefully tens of thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands of people? And have you thought through that? And if so, could you maybe just tell us a little bit about how you think you see the scaling?
So yes, we did. Initially, we thought this idea would be only for the patients, but then when we interviewed, we learned that there's also a large group of people who are interested in preventive healthcare. So when you see like people who are into fitness or the preventive healthcare, apart from patients who are having digestive disorders, it's still like it's a very huge number. There's a big scope there. And as we go, when we generate the revenue through this, we are foreseeing business to business, that is the probiotic and prebiotic industry, to collaborate with
the data we generate, and we use it for the secondary analysis to scale up the revenue streams as well.
Cool, thank you.
So massive opportunity to grow at-home testing in a variety of ways. This is really cool, great video. Can you help me understand how you're going to manage the logistics of sending out, all these kits, and what labs are they going to go back to?
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to get at, Cathy.
Yeah. So during our R&D, we are trying to collaborate with the labs in the local labs, and but when we actually start our product is out, we outsource the sequencing stuff, and once we get the results back, we are going to analyze in our own labs here. And then we're going to generate the report and send it directly to the customer online.
So we already talked, or we already had a conversation with Ocean Sciences here. They provide the lab space. So we are going to use that lab space for processing the samples. And once we get the data, we can process it in the office, or we have our processors or the computers.
And you say you're processing gene sequencing? Or
yes, gene sequencing data.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi there. I noticed your competitor Atlas does genetics, like the 23andMe type of testing, as well as the gut check. Do you have plans to get into other kinds of testing like that? And then the second question, is there any risk of contamination during the mailing process?
So
the buffer we use, which we provide in the kit, which maintains the integrity of the sample. And that's where the R&D is involved. Our R&D is involved to maintain, to standardize all those conditions to maintain the integrity of the sample and without any contaminations. And secondly, in case the expansion of other things like DNA, we are planning to first stick with the microbiome analysis part, and our final future goal is to go into the microbiome-based therapeutics after 5 to 10 years from now.
But we are welcome to collaborate with Sequence Bio or any companies like that. Yeah.
Guys, first of all, great presentation and great idea. I want to start by saying that. Just a quick question. Any privacy concerns? I mean, you're going to be collecting people's medical data. How do you ensure that the privacy is maintained?
So we are going to de-identify the data when we are going to process it for further or the future research, and also we are going to take consent from individual customers to whether they want to participate or whether they don't want to use their data for future. So that's how we are going to handle it. And also, like, we'll be taking, anyways, going through the research ethics board, the process approval as well. Yeah.
Great, thanks.
We've got 30 seconds if there's an extra question you'd like to ask.
And something else. What about sales and marketing? Do you have someone on your team that's going to drive that part of the business?
Yes. We do have the great advisory board with the business point of view as well, the Dr. Carlos Bazan, as I mentioned in the video. In addition to that, we are also planning to join the Genesis Enterprise Program. And we also won the first prize Genesis Evaluation Program. So we have a contact with Genesis to get into Enterprise Program and help with the business development plans.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, team. Appreciate it. You can return back to your breakout room, and we're going to move on to the fifth and final team today. So next up, we're going to hear from ReportMate. We're going to start with their video, and then we're coming back for the last 5 minutes of questions to wrap up this portion of the event.
Thank you for listening to our pitch. I'm going to start by introducing ourselves. I'm Holly Hill, the co-founder of ReportMate, and my background is helping technology companies in Newfoundland bring niche products to market. I've partnered with my co-founder, Jeremy LaRouche, who is an orthopedic surgeon out of Sunnybrook Hospital. And our product comes from a gap that Jeremy noticed during his practice. When an automobile accident goes to court, in a lot of cases, the opinion of a medical expert is required. When Jeremy isn't at his day job at Sunnybrook Hospital, he works as contractor providing medical expert opinion on court cases. That means that Jeremy will go through this 20,000 pages of medical history. That can include MRIs, handwritten doctor's notes that Jeremy has to sort, organize, and read through in order to form his opinion on a case. A year ago, Jeremy was working on a motorcycle accident case. A young man arrived at a hospital, and after waking up from his coma, he was paralyzed. It was assumed that that was caused by his accident. However, on page 1401 of this report, through the 20,000 documents, it clearly states from an ICU nurse in size 8 font that this man was able to freely move his arms and legs upon arrival to the emergency room. That key piece of information is what Jeremy needs to be able to form his expert opinion and what the court needs to be able to file that man his rightful lawsuit. However, today, Jeremy has to go through this using this to be able to find that information. And that's why him and I have partnered together from two very different backgrounds to build our platform, ReportMate. Our platform is a case management cloud-based solution that will allow users like Jeremy to have access to those 20,000 documents in a web-based browser. Jeremy will be able to sort, organize, and do keyword searches to find that key piece of information that he's looking for. Our system will chronologically order those MRIs, those doctor's notes, so that Jeremy logs in, he can create a more accurate report and can save him time. In 2019, 75,000 medical reports were filed in Canada. Physicians who do medical expert witness report writing, on average, will do 10 reports a month. They earn $4,000 to $5,000 for every report they write, which is an extra $50,000 in income every month. We spoke with 6 surgeons in informal interviews who said on average they would pay $150 for a system that could help them improve the accuracy and improve the time it takes for them to write that report. That's how we came to find the market size of Canada at 12 million and the US at 200 million. Currently, today, there are no solutions that are catered to the report writing aspect of this supply chain. There are systems such as AssessMed that will focus on the secure file transfer of data from a law firm over to the physician. And there are systems such as W5 Case that will focus on the whole macro system, including the law firm, the insurance company, and the report writer. But nobody is focused on helping the report writer write about a report and organize and sort their data. Today, we have 2 MBA students helping us do research into new markets. In addition, we've partnered with Industrial Outreach, who have helped us with funding to hire a senior engineering student to work on our prototype for the next 3 months. If successful with the Mel Woodward Cup, we would like to continue our conversations with RDC in the province to leverage that funding and hire a technical expertise that can come in and help with optical character recognition to really grow this product. In addition, as you know, Jeremy and I have full-time jobs. And until the product is at a successful stage where we can join full-time, we would like to hire someone that we can have run the company under our guidance and expertise. In addition, with those funds, we would like to start speaking with lawyers on what can we do with medical records and what we're going to be allowed to sort through. In addition, we'd like to start partnering with third-party vendors such as Amazon to be able to use their optical character recognition software. By January 2021, our goal is to have 10 physicians beta testing our product and providing feedback on the report writing aspect. After speaking with many experts in this field and conducting interviews, we know there's a huge market need for a product like this, and we know that we have a huge value proposition to add, such as improving time to build those reports, improving the accuracy and searchability in doing those reports, and giving physicians flexibility to write those reports from any location. We're ReportMate, and our goal is to help improve the report writing process for medical experts.
Awesome, great video, guys. Thanks for joining us today. I guess the first question that I had, or actually the only question was, I'm a huge fan of really trying to kind of, before moving to building things, to kind of testing things and kind of coming up with creative ways to kind of test for customer traction, test for positioning. And I just wonder what your thoughts are on how much can you guys test in terms of traction before kind of getting to building things.
I'm happy to take this one. I think it's a great question. I think also knowing the market space is important for us because as we've come along some of the product development, we've encountered new markets that overlap. So right now we've got 2 MBA students that have been very helpful doing some market analysis and doing some one-on-one structured interviews. We've had a chance to talk to some of the companies that have a national presence and to see in the long term how we might weave into their existing platform and needs. And so we're making good gains from that aspect, I think.
And I would just add, in addition, Jeremy spoke with 6 surgeons to date in formal interviews who have been willing to do beta testing for us come January when we have a platform to be able to, for them to do testing on.
Great, thanks.
Holly, one of the questions that I had, so understand there's a whole lot of apps that can help manage expert testimony, but your app's going to be very different, or the application's going to be very different. And I just thought maybe you could really articulate that a little crisper for me so that I understand the difference.
Yeah, certainly. It's a great question. So there are a lot of resources, you're right, that will help with expert witness report writing. From what we've understand that's out there, there's known that's a cloud-based software that will allow the report writer to be able to upload their files, sort them chronologically, or use that to build their files within it. A lot of them will either transfer files from the lawyer to the expert witness or be a part of the whole macro system, but none that necessarily will focus solely on helping that report writer build a case management or use it as a case management tool.
Mm-hmm.
And out of maybe 6 hours that I'm writing, maybe 3 of them are spent reviewing files and trying to sort them. And if we can find a way to use existing technology woven into a platform to minimize that time, I think it has a large value added for the key players.
Great, thanks.
Guys,
go ahead.
Okay, I went out of order. First of all, I just want to say that this is a problem. I think this is very, very important to solve, and you guys are really on the right track. In my business, we've got technicians in remote locations all over North America, and they're doing technical repairs on wind turbines and solar panels and whatnot. And finding a report that they could do on their phone, an app that could do that in a meaningful way and collect that data in a meaningful way was very, very difficult for us. So you're on the right track. Just want to ask, Assess Med, you say, you list them as one of your competitors, but also somebody that you think you could be working with. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Assess Med does a few portions of what we talk, but they're very rudimentary. So they do an online file transfer. They're the biggest company in Canada, but they're also very interested in what we have in terms of building a platform that they want to weave in. So we're in the process of signing a non-disclosure agreement with them to show them what we have. But from our preliminary conversations, they see a need not only to improve the efficiency of their company, but also as a recruiting tool that they could say, listen, we have the best document management system out there, and it's easier for you to come and do a case with us. So they may attract other report writers to them using our tool. So it does work both ways, I agree.
So my question is, first, are there privacy concerns because this is medical information that's going to be online in an app? And then second, you mentioned that you'd be selling to the medical examiner, but what about selling directly to law firms? Is there any interest from them since they're the ones paying these bills?
You're on to our phase 2. Jeremy, do you want to talk maybe about the privacy concerns, and then we'll quickly jump into phase 2?
Yeah, so I think you're hit the nail on the head. Absolutely. So the privacy concerns, we do have the benefit that the moment someone launches a lawsuit, their private health information becomes a legal document. So we kind of get around that loophole because it's no longer me accessing data from the hospital. It's actually now an exhibit as part of a court case, which allows me to bypass that concern. But for phase 2, I'll let Holly talk about it because I think you're absolutely right. It's an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, in the interest of time, so for phase 2, our goal is to try to start after 2 years of gathering these reports and using the data. We want to start with using AI to be able to do predictive analysis for law firms on which cases they may want to take, or for insurance companies on when a case might be winnable and certain features they should look for in that particular case.
Sweet, right on time, perfect timing. Holly, Jeremy, thank you for wrapping up here today. You can go back into the breakout room there now before we shortly take our networking break. But before we do that, like, what an incredible presentation from all 5 teams. And judges, thank you for the thoughtful questions. I think it was pretty awesome to see this happen virtually and still feel like it was happening so real time here. So awesome work. So then we've done all 5. The judges are now going to leave here in a moment, and they're going to take about 30 minutes to deliberate. When they come back to us, they're going to have the top 2 teams, and they're going to give us that presentation. But for everybody else, if you look on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see there's 2 options. The first one is Expo, where if you click into that, you're going to find virtual booths from some of these awesome entrepreneurs. And the second is the networking area, where when you click in, you'll actually be able to video chat with one another, and you can go back and forth between these spaces. I do want to reiterate that we're coming back here at 4:55. So make sure you're back at the main stage. When we come back, we're going to announce who the winners are of the 2020 Mel Woodward Cup. Enjoy the networking break. All right, welcome back, everyone. I hope you get a good chance to check out some of the expos. I get to network with some people. I checked there for the first time. It was pretty cool to see what this can do from a virtual setup. The judges are back, and you'll see them here alongside of me. Some are smiling, some are nervous. I think they had a really good conversation for the last half hour. But overall, super impressed with the teams today. I want to thank everyone for joining us. I'm now really excited to invite the chair of the judging panel, Josh Green, to come here and do two things. First, share his thoughts on the overall competition, and then get to what we're all waiting for, the two winners. Josh, it's all yours.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Adam. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Congrats, everyone, on an amazing job. Well done. Yeah, just wanted to share some overall thoughts that myself and the other judges had. So things that we really loved was, man, like I love seeing the traction, like the examples of people with an app in the App Store that's super high rated with lots of traction. Other companies with lots of social proof, with lots of followers and engagement. All of the presentations right across the board, super professional and high caliber presentations. Really impressive there. The thing is, there's lots of work to continue. This is just the beginning, and there's so much more work. Probably 99.9% of the work is still ahead of you. So I just keep that in mind. One of the traits that we scored it on, but just it goes without saying that everyone has got the ingredients for success, and so don't give up. Keep going at this no matter what. However, we did have to pick two winners. So I will start with announcing the runner-up. And I just want to make sure that we're timing this appropriately. So I'm just going to hang for just a couple more minutes.
Let the suspense build.
This is really exciting. I'm a drummer, so maybe I can do a drum roll, but no, that's awkward. What do you think, Adam? Should I just wait a couple more minutes? Oh, okay, here we go. All right. Hey, thank you. All right, I'm very proud to announce that the runner-up of this year's competition is Prosper. So congrats, guys. You did a phenomenal job, and we're really impressed. And yeah, keep it up. Keep up the great work. There's so much work ahead of you, but we know you'll do great things. All right. Thanks, Colin and Jonathan. So now we will jump over to the winner of today's competition. And I'm going to just make sure that I'm timing this properly. Am I good to wait a little bit longer, Adam, you think?
We've kept everyone here an hour and 55 minutes. We may as well make them wait now another minute. You'll notice too, there's a little voting poll inside the app. It was kind of cool to see them kind of come in alongside from the audience. And I guess while we're waiting here, I just want to say congrats to the Prosper team. Awesome presentation. It was really cool to see this kind of all come together. I've been following you guys now for more than a year. I guess it was almost 2 years. So kudos, and reach out to us when you're ready for it. I think Susan's going to switch over. Josh, Colin, and Jonathan, you can head back into the breakout room, and then we'll bring in the winners of the 2020 Mel Woodward Cup in just a moment.
Okay, there we go. And final finale here. The winner of this year's competition is Nuclear.
Yay!
Congrats, guys.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Phenomenal co-founders. You guys have so much passion. You're solving an awesome an opportunity and helping improve the people's lives. You guys got all the right stuff, and we were super impressed with everything that you had to say. So congrats on being this year's winners of the Mel Woodward Cup.
Wow,
yes, exactly.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for all the judges.
Yeah,
yes,
thanks, Ramsey. Everything.
Yeah, super excited. We don't know what to say.
Wow.
Well, go make us proud. There's a lot of hard work in front of you, but go make us proud.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so
Josh.
much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Josh, and thank you, team.
And
All right, you can head
congrats
back
to
to
the other two teams, other Prosper and the other teams who have participated. Everybody are awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you, judges. Thank you, everybody. Yeah.
That's very kind.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. And you guys head back into the breakout room now. We're going to do the final wrap up before Florian sends you a check for $25,000 this afternoon. He told me he's going to get it out there by hand. They'll come soon. But judges, thank you so much. And to the teams, this is kind of like Josh suggested start. So for the teams that didn't win today, just know that we're all here. And just because you don't win this here doesn't really mean where you're going to be in 5 years' time. There's a lot of things that came to this are super exciting, and take those things. Reach out to myself, reach out to everyone else on this call, and we're happy to help you, and look forward to watching you grow. But judges, thank you again, and that really does wrap up today's event. But before we conclude, I'm going to turn things over to Florian in just a moment. But I first have to say a special thank you to MCE. It's not here in the notes, but I have to say that 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, we heard about MCE when I was in school. It was literally like a closet, pretty much, like a room where Florian and Elise sat, which is super tiny. And they sold this idea of entrepreneurship to us. And they kept telling me like the center was coming, this thing was coming. And when I finished and graduated, this actually became a real thing in the engineering building. And then people started coming, and then more and more people started coming. It's been pretty amazing to see that grow. And it's such a key part of the ecosystem here. But what people don't realize, I think, most of the time is how much effort they're putting into this and how much they actually care about every bit of this. Florian has been smiling for a full week. Like, I kid you not, he's been smiling the whole time we've been on here. He's so happy to do this. So very special thank you to MC and to everyone else, Lyle, Susan, for making this happen today. And I'm going to turn it over to Florian, the director of MCE, to conclude today.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam. And congratulations to NeurClick and Prosper. So as you know, this competition aims to advance your startup. So now we hope we're going to hear some great things from you soon. And I'd like also to congratulate the all 5 finalist teams and the 20 other teams who applied to the 2020 Mel Woodward Cup and embrace a new and more challenging competition process this year. Before I close this event, I'd like to thank those of you who contributed directly or indirectly to the success of the St. John startup community, especially those of you who support the student entrepreneurs we work with or have worked with at MCE. And for me, like St. John's has an incredible ecosystem with 3 compelling ingredients. We have a globally successful companies, including the billion-dollar company Verafin. We have a caring and supportive community and an awesome lifestyle. I believe these 3 ingredients will motivate entrepreneurial students to create and grow their business in Newfoundland and Labrador, which will help attract other entrepreneurs and create the foundation of an updated economy for our province. If you haven't yet contributed to the province startup ecosystem, I encourage you to start tonight by taking a few minutes to offer encouragements or piece of advice to the 5 finalists, as well as to other students entrepreneurs who are here today. The networking and expo rooms will remain open for a little while after the live stream ends, so please drop in before ending your time with us today. You can return to rooms using the navigation on the left of your screen. Interest in entrepreneurship at Memorial is growing, and each year more students join MCE, attend a workshop, or undertake an entrepreneurial work term. For example, we have 20 entrepreneurial work terms and internships this summer versus 4 last summer. With your support, we will help accelerate the creation of multiple new startups. I'd like to close this event by once again thanking the Woodward family, ACOA, KPMG, Altitude Media, Perfect Day, Nati, McInnes Cooper, Genesis, the Garner Center, and all faculties and schools at Memorial. Thank you as well to our awesome EMC, Adam Kidding, our judges, Rodrigo Iniguez at Drone LL for the amazing visuals that you have seen through these events, Jason Trask and Anaya Abdelgaber at MCE, Susan White at the Faculty of Business Administration, Jackie Locke at the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Science, and Lyle Welsh for the technical support. And I'd like to give a special mention to Ellie Summers, who has been the hard-working organizer behind this event since its inception. Due to unforeseen circumstances, she's been unable to participate in the final planning stages. We look forward to seeing her virtually again soon. I also offer a special thank you to Dr. Gary Kashanovsky for his ongoing support to create and develop the MCE. This competition would not have been launched without his support. And we are also very excited to start working with Dr. Timmons on growing entrepreneurship at Memorial. Finally, I would like to thank all of you for attending this event and supporting our finalists. To all students here tonight, I invite you to get ready for the 2021 Mel Woodward Cup. It will be our 5th edition, so a very special one. The countdown is on. This has been a very exciting event. I hope you enjoy it too. Bonne soirée à tous. Have a great night.